This is something you must know if you plan on reaching higher heights in life, if you plan on accomplishing great things. The Bible says it is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but it is the honor of kings to search out that matter, to search out that thing. That's in Proverbs chapter 25, verse 2. It's God glory to conceal the great things, right? The great cures that people have discovered to diseases, or understanding the specifics of the constellation or mathematics or the solar system or the ocean or earth or buildings or physics, or a lot of great things, right? Inventions, innovative things that we enjoy today. Those things were concealed before they were revealed to the world. You know, if things were easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would do it. And this is why you cannot give up because things are hard. And when we say the word hard, we must not say the word hard to the point where we feel like it's impossible, because the Bible said with God, all things are possible. With God, nothing is impossible. So it may be difficult. It may be complex. It may be hard, but don't use the word hard in the sense of it's impossible. Yeah, things are supposed to be tough, because if it was easy, everybody would do it, right? Whatever your gift is, whatever your talent is, whatever it is that's special that you do, everybody can't do it, right? And if it was easy, everybody would be able to do it. But it's God's glory to conceal things. And so if you're going to accomplish something in life, if you're going to do something that's worthwhile, you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to dig for it. You're going to have to dig down deep, because all things that are valuable are hidden in the earth. Gold, the diamonds, precious metals, that we use in cars and in the world today. Even wells, when it's time to dig a well to get water, you got to dig down deep into the earth. If you want to plant something, you want to plant a tree, you want to have a great crop, you want to have a great harvest, you got to plant and dig down into the earth. And it's concealed on how it was actually done, right? Until you have the knowledge. And so when things are easy in life, everybody wants to do it. But this is what I want to say. God conceals it for a reason. One, because they carry value. Two, they require discernment, right? And three, it tests your heart. But God conceals it for a reason, because it carries value, and value cannot be trusted with anybody. Everybody can't be trusted with things that are of value. If you want to think about my point, then try to take what's valuable to yours and just give it to anybody. No, you're not going to give it to anybody, right? That's why we have it inside of our homes, inside of our mind, if our heart ideas are here. You don't just share ideas with anybody, right? Because everybody doesn't value it. So God conceals it. One, because it carries value. Two, because it requires discernment. It's concealed because what you're going to find and discover, it requires discernment, right? When you go up, when you accomplish in life, when you go higher in life, when you finally get to a point in life where you're older, you're wiser, and now you can handle a certain position or a certain thing or whatever it is, it's because you grew in wisdom, you grew in discernment, you grew in knowledge, right? So that thing that takes you a long time to get, it requires discernment. Certain things in life that we want, certain positions that we want to have, certain things that we want to do, they require you to have wisdom, knowledge, and a spiritual discernment, right? Because if not, you're going to mess it up. It's like the Bible said, throwing pearls before pigs, right? They're just going to trample over it. They don't know anything about jewelry or pearls. They're just going to trample over it or eat it. Right? So that's why God, he conceals it, because it carries value, but also because it requires discernment. Then he conceals it because it tests your heart. It tests and it proves, do you actually want it? Do you actually want the thing that you're trying to act, that you're asking God for? Do you actually want the thing that you're going after? And how bad do you want it? Because when it's concealed and you have to dig down to get the water, you have to dig to find the gold, or you have to study to be able to get that A, or you have to work this amount of time in order to be able to get that paycheck, or or you have to do all of this and you have to know all of this in order to be able to get that particular position, or you got to get an insane amount of knowledge, right, in order to be able to advance. But that journey tests your heart. That's what it does. It sees if you really want it, because when it's concealed, which means also that it's selectively available. It's only available for those who select it, and those who have been selected to be able to put in the work to be able to receive what has been concealed. And God concealed it, right? It is the glory of God to conceal the matter, right? But it is the honor of kings to search it out. And that's the definition of being a king or a queen, when you actually search out something. You search out your wisdom, you figure it out, you understand it, and you're able to put it to work. You're able to receive the value from from the thing that you searched out. Because you didn't give up. You learned the knowledge. You got the wisdom. You got the knowledge. You got the understanding. You got the spiritual discernment. You passed the test of wanting it, desiring it, of wanting to having it, of not quitting, not giving up, not turning around, not throwing in the towel. You passed that test. And because you did that, you can receive the value. But you got to be willing to put in work. So you can't get upset because things are hard, because things are difficult, because things are not easy. You don't want them to be easy. If they were easy, everybody would have it. Everybody would do it. And that's why you can put your hands up in the end at this glorious moment when you finally get that value. Why? Because you knew it wasn't easy. You knew it wasn't easy, right? So it's selectively available. It's only available for the select, right? Then the journey itself, as I said before, it tests your heart. The journey itself refines you. It develops you, right? And it prepares you to receive the very thing that you're searching for, that you're digging for, that you ask God for, that you're pursuing, right? It refines you. It makes you sharper, better, wiser, stronger. The journey itself, right? The journey itself, it prepares you to receive the thing, right? And so if you're not prepared to go through a tough journey, you might as well stop. If you're going to be crying, be frustrated and whine and complain the whole way through, you might as well stop. That's what angered God at Israel when they were in the wilderness, when they started complaining, and he had just brought them out of Egypt, just opened up the Red Sea, just showed them a miracle, led them a cloud by day, fire by night. He's showing them all the miracles, bringing them water from a rock. I mean, God is doing miracle after miracle after miracle, and people still complain because of the journey, because they didn't get to the promised land when they wanted to. So a lot of times we must make sure that we're not complainers and that we're really up for the journey, because the journey is going to refine you. It's going to challenge who you are. It's going to challenge the way you think, right? It's going to reject the way you think already, because remember, he said, my ways are not your ways, right? My ways is far from your ways as the east is from the west, as heaven is from the earth, right? So the way God does things is not the way that you think. So you got to let your mind go. I have to come to him, as the Bible, as Jesus said, as a child, ready to just receive. I have nothing to give but myself, my life. Lord, I give you my life. So you come to God as a child, ready to receive the wisdom and his instruction on how to receive that thing of value and how to be ready to go through the journey, go through the process, pass the test. Because the journey itself is going to refine you, develop you, and prepare you, right? And it also is available for select and those who are ready to go through that journey. But also, it's going to teach you life's most valuable lessons. You're going to learn life's most valuable strategies, life's most valuable insight. And in order to learn those things, it requires effort. You got to be willing to put in the work. It requires effort, patience. You have to be patient. You can't be willing to give up because it didn't pan out the way you wanted it. Effort, patience, and intentional pursuit. I have to be intentional about pursuing it day after day after day after day after day. If it was easy, everybody would do it, and then people would take it for granted. But God conceals his glory. That glorious moment is waiting on you. It's waiting on your effort, your patience, and your intentional pursuits. God knows the value he's put on the inside of you, but you got to be willing to put in the work. You got to be willing to make it happen, right? And you got to be willing to pass the test. Be blessed.